One thing about me, I don't care what it is or how painful it is. I've always prided myself on telling the truth. Even if the truth is very close to me, as far as my family is concerned, I try to always tell the truth. And it's no different when I'm talking about an individual, a celebrity, of someone who I admire. If they do something that I feel or believe is dehumanizing, out of order, criminal, I'm going to speak out against that as well, regardless of how much influence they have had on me in my life in a positive sense. Now, real briefly, I just want to ask this question to you. Do you believe that our esteemed pop star, God rest his soul, Michael Jackson, was gay? Do you think he was gay? Do you honestly believe that Michael Jackson raped or molested any children during his life? This has been the topic of controversy, discussion for decades and decades as to whether or not Michael Jackson really did it. He never went to jail, to prison. Now, someone will say, and I've had and heard people say, why didn't Michael Jackson pay out millions of dollars in the early 90s, 1993, to one young boy by creating a trust fund for $15 million or more? And alongside that, he also agreed to give each parent $1.5 million each to not pursue any criminal charges, to drag it out in court, and that was the reason. Someone say if he was innocent, he would never have paid any money out. That's not true. We have to look at how Michael Jackson played into the fabric of America. He was the greatest entertainer that we know or know of during the 21st century. We grew up with Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 and the cartoons on Saturday morning, and when he became a solo artist, Off the Wall, and then as he began to progress, Beat It, Billie Jean, and all of these other things came along, and millions and millions of dollars and millions of fans across the planet. To say that he was a rapist or a molester, I don't buy it. I personally believe that Michael Jackson was abused as a child by his father and his brothers. His brothers were abused, that is. Not that they abused him. That may have came later because of jealousy. As to the stardom that Michael achieved later outside of the Jackson 5. But anyway, I believe that Michael, being the real talent of the Jackson 5, he had so much pressure on him. That is what made him eccentric, as some might say. Or that's what made him this sought after entity, this powerhouse of an entertainer, this perfectionist. He was secluded, and he was an introvert. It's quite obvious. Michael could have never ever achieved the stardom that he did without spending hours and hours and hours and hours, thousands and thousands of hours perfecting his craft as a Michael Jordan, as a Bruce Lee, as an Elvis, as a Liberace. He spent thousands of hours perfecting his craft. Not many people in the world are just simply gifted and then add a lot of hard work to that gift will achieve that level of skill, of talent, without investing that type of time. He was that person. He was purpose driven because of his experiences as a child. Being the loner, even though he had siblings around him. He was the one who brought the money in. When they realized that Michael was the real talent, then the whole world sat on his shoulders. And he had to carry the weight of that, the weight of the family. Michael had to do this. Now, just because he built a place that they call Neverland, and he had all of these exotic animals on his property, and he would bring children there because he loved children. Remember the song, Heal the World? He wasn't just talking about people in general, he was talking about children too. No one makes music like that for no reason at all when they're not purpose driven. Michael was the most influential artist during that time to all of us in America and even the world. But was he gay? His songs were about women, many of them. No gay man talks about a woman. And that same album makes millions and millions and millions of dollars. He was passionate about his work. If he was gay, he'd be passionate about a gay agenda within his music. You never saw that in his music. Dirty Diana, Billie Jean, and there's numerous other songs where he talked about women. There was never an illusion or deception of who he was addressing when he did his music. But he was still a loner when he stood on the stage and he performed. And the women were out there falling out. Not just because he was a talented artist, but because he was a man that was talented. Get up, girl. Show me what you can do. Michael loved women. But I believe that he loved his craft even more. That is why the assertion that he may be gay came into play in the first place. We don't really see him dating women. What artist that puts that type of time in their craft has time for women? So it could lead you to believe that he could possibly have been. But he wasn't. Michael Jackson just simply was the greatest entertainer of all time. And he is missed. This is Brother Teacher. What do you think?